At the dawn of human civilizations, Sumer emerged as a mosaic of independent city-states that, despite sharing a common culture, fiercely competed for power and influence. The political structure of these cities was deeply influenced by religion, and their leaders were hybrid figures, both rulers and priests. The Patesi, or priest-king, not only administered human laws but also served as a mediator between the people and the gods. This intrinsic connection between religion and government granted the Patesi an almost divine authority, making governance a direct reflection of celestial will. Each city-state had its own Patesi, highlighting the political autonomy of these entities, even when they shared similar cultural values. Over time, the growth of trade and the need to protect strategic trade routes forced these city-states to unite under despotic leaders. This unification was not peaceful. On the contrary, it was marked by constant military conflicts. The cities sought political centralization as a way to ensure stability, but this centralization was often unstable. In royal palaces, an environment of violence and political intrigue prevailed. Kings feared conspiracies, and security measures were essential for their survival. This political centralization led to despotic leaders who consolidated absolute power, imposing themselves as uncontestable figures. Sumerian palaces were fortified, designed to protect the king from both internal and external attacks. Narrow entrances and labyrinths made access to the royal chambers difficult, while secret guards monitored the corridors. Inside the palace, the king had his private temple, a reserved space to worship the gods and reinforce his role as a divine intermediary. This security apparatus reflects the constant threat that kings faced, both from external enemies and internal rivals. The king's private temple was a symbol of his connection to the divine and his supreme power over the state. Wars were a constant in Sumerian politics, mainly motivated by economic reasons. Controlling trade routes and natural resources was essential for the prosperity of the cities. A striking example is that of Manishtuzu, who invaded Elam in search of silver mines and precious stones to craft statues and adorn temples. Beyond plundering, these military campaigns aimed to consolidate political power and ensure a continuous flow of wealth. The defeated were treated with extreme severity. Many were enslaved, others executed, and some offered as sacrifices to the gods, reinforcing the victor's authority and ensuring divine favour. Wars also aimed to subjugate rival populations and secure the submission of conquered cities. Despite political unification, Sumerian cities maintained a strong sense of local identity, which often led to chauvinistic separatism. This stance encouraged cultural and artistic flourishing, but also generated civic violence and political weakening. Exaggerated local pride prevented true political cohesion, contributing to the eventual collapse of Sumerian civilization. Separatism not only weakened the city's defences against external enemies, but also fostered internal rivalries that led to political fragmentation. With the rise of Sumerian empires, a system of land grants began to take shape. The king distributed land to military chiefs as a reward for their services, and these beneficiaries were responsible for maintaining order and providing soldiers when needed. In return, they enjoyed tax exemptions and administrative privileges. This practice strengthened the empire's military power and created a network of loyalties that sustained the government. But it also conferred influence to an aristocracy that, on some occasions, could challenge royal authority. Taxation in Sumer was fundamental to sustaining the administrative and military apparatus. Taxes were primarily collected in kind, such as grains, livestock, and textiles, and stored in royal deposits. These goods were then redistributed to officials, priests, and government employees, ensuring the administration's functioning. The royal deposits served as logistical centres, ensuring that the state could sustain its armed forces and manage the cities under its control. Sumer also left a significant legacy in legal terms. Kings Ur-Nammu and Shulgi were pioneers in codifying laws, later influencing the famous Code of Hammurabi. Sumerian laws addressed a wide range of issues, from crimes and punishments to commercial contracts and family rights. Comparing Sumerian codes with Semitic ones, it is noticeable that the Sumerians were stricter in their treatment of adultery, for example, reflecting their moral and religious conceptions. The Sumerian legal code also established specific penalties for different crimes, creating a justice system that aimed at both social order and divine justice. In the realm of commercial and personal relations, Sumerian laws regulated loans, contracts, adoptions, and inheritances, creating a relatively sophisticated legal system. Courts were generally located in temples and presided over by priests, reinforcing the connection between religion and justice. There was also a higher court, composed of professional judges, which reviewed more complex cases. This higher court ensured that legal decisions were consistent and based on established legal principles. To avoid prolonged litigation, Sumerian society valued public arbitration. The pursuit of amicable agreements before resorting to courts was encouraged, promoting social peace and avoiding unnecessary conflicts. Public arbitration was seen as an effective way to maintain social harmony, ensuring that disputes were resolved fairly and quickly. Reflecting on Sumerian politics is essential to understanding the origins of many aspects of modern societies. The interconnection between religion, power and war, the importance of laws and justice, and the challenges of political centralization are themes that still resonate today. Learning from the mistakes and successes of these ancient civilizations can help improve our own society, ensuring greater justice and political stability.